Welcome to B2B Tech Talk Xvantage edition. Today, we're joined live and in person by our Sanjib Sahoo, Executive Vice President and Chief Digital Officer. So glad to have you join me again today.
Always a pleasure with you, Nina. Look forward to talking to you.
Absolutely. I feel like we should be doing an eyeglass commercial, don't you think?
Absolutely. Yours is better than mine.
Oh, stop. You look fantastic. Now that you're here, we did, in our first episode, we did a kind of look back in time and how far we've come, and we've come a long way. And it was so awesome to see all the stories stitched together. But now today, tell me where we are. Here we are into March of 2024. Where are we?
Can't believe it's March of 2024.
Do you believe it? I know.
We have come along with the Xvantage. What we are seeing is, the Xvantage was a platform being built to support the business. Slowly, we are in a path that Xvantage is becoming the business. We are seeing the traction. We are looking at all the levers of capabilities that Xvantage has. We are seeing traction in customers using our, Xvantage for customers. The employees are using it. Our vendor partners using it. We are solving complex problems. We have, solved the subscription engine from last time we spoke. We have launched a mobile app, as you know. We are working on, Gen AI-based, frameworks to solve complex problems. So it has come a long way. We are focusing on critical countries, but today we look at it. Where are we getting the revenue? How are we looking at how the platform works? Different level of conversations we're having with Xvantage right now.
And how do we determine which features we're going to be implementing in Xvantage?
What we do is we have our big, levers, which are transformation capabilities that we do. And then around those guardrails and levers, we actually talk to the different countries, and get feature requests. We call it a Genie request. And we prioritize based on, customer feedback, what is important, what moves the needle, what is really, really, important for the business. So with all these factors, we prioritize and come up with a roadmap. Now, a lot of the times we also do user research, and talk to actual users, understand what they want. So it's a mix of, if you look at changing technology landscape, the art of possible and balancing it with the art of feasible. There's always a balance. New technology coming in, new features coming in. At the same time, operation groups looking at what is exactly feasible, what do we need? So that healthy debate goes on, and we keep on constantly, iterate with capabilities. So that's extremely important. Today we release capabilities every week in Xvantage, every single week, and I want to move it to every single day. Now that's the speed at which
that's impressive.
Yeah,
and I love the fact that you highlighted that we're not evolving based on what we think we need that needs to go into the platform. We're listening to our partners and letting them have a voice in how we're evolving the platform. That's really cool. One of the things I want to ask you, because we have in this special edition of B2B Tech Talk, we reached out to some of our partners and I asked them, if you could ask Sanjib a question, what would it be? And I had 3 partners ask me the same question. So I'm hoping you can help me with this.
Sure.
The question is, some of your Ingram Micro's competitors and other companies that, like us or whatever, competitors we'll call them, are say that they have platforms similar to Xvantage, that they're, offering a similar solution. How do I reply to them? Matter of fact, why don't you reply to them?
Absolutely. The word digital platform, digital transformation is cliche. We have been doing this for many, many years, right? Everybody will say we have an AI platform, digital. And I have a lot of respect for our competition. But I want our partners to ask few questions. You can difference between a website and a platform and an ecosystem. What are the few questions you need to ask? Can you actually go and price every single SKU real time in your platform taking into account special pricing, the vendor management fields, etc. The complex orders, configuration orders that you do with vendors, generally in a best case takes 8 hours to 72 hours. Can you do that in 21 seconds to 4 minutes based on the vendor relationship that you do? Can you actually move to a push model from a pull model where your AI-based recommendation engine understands the customer's portfolio, what they need, and the solutions, and bundle them and push it the right time of the need? You have a hardware, you push a warranty. You have a license, you have upselling, cross-selling opportunities. Next. In a single order ticket, can you actually have hardware, software, cloud, subscription, services together? While you are tracking the hardware to purchase, you can provision your cloud subscription, you can co-terminate, upgrade, all in a single order ticket. Last, can you look at any format of your vendors without going through a massive integration? You can transform their framework using your AI models and bring them to your platform so that you can add SKUs, catalogs immediately. You can ask these questions and figure out what is the difference between a digital website and a digital platform and a platform of platforms, because that will give you the answer.
In a marketplace, right?
Yeah.
I think there's just a lot of terms being floated out there, and really, truly, Xvantage is a business ecosystem where you can conduct all your business. I don't think that a lot of partners realize the complexity of special pricing and SKUs, because with the thousands of customers we have, right, and the different pricing models we have, to be able to sort that out and do it in the time that we did, that's pretty darn impressive.
Absolutely. So if you look at AI, is AI new? No, just an example on same parallels. The term AI was coined in 1950s. The first chatbot was in 1964. Nothing new. Everybody said AI, AI. So why is it so much about AI? Does everybody have AI? No. There's a difference between the term and the capability that you can do. So that's my answer to the partners is, go and ask those questions and you figure out the answers for yourself when you do the comparison.
Sure, absolutely. Be curious. That's the answer.
Absolutely.
Be curious and ask those questions. Okay, well, we have a special guest here. Mark Essayian is here to join us. So, Mark, why don't you come on out?
Hey, Mark. See you again.
Good to see you.
Same here.
Yep. So, Mark, I'm so delighted you're here. It just so happened that Mark was here on the same day we were able to bring you, and I thought it'd be perfect to bring Mark out here with us today, because he has not only direct interaction with Xvantage and his team does, but also through TrustX Alliance. So, Mark, maybe you can share some of your experience. You used a term, actually, that really stuck with me, and it was time machine, AI and time machine. I kind of think Xvantage is a time machine, too, giving people that more time back.
Yeah, I think what most people don't recognize is how much time they spend on the complexity of the order, on the complexity of getting things done. The complexity is still there. It's now thoroughly masked by what he's doing, so that we can do things in a much faster manner, not make mistakes, order what we need. If something isn't correct, it gets caught faster. And that's a huge thing for me, because complexity means slowing down, making sure that it's right. And it's not. I mean, I might use a different platform analogy like Uber. Once you learn how to use Uber, it's not just getting in a car. You want food delivered? You don't need to learn 17 different platforms. If you want pizza or chicken or a hamburger, you know how to use Uber. And it gets delivered. And now I think they're even doing like just regular grocery stuff that you can have delivered. But you know how to use Uber. Well, once I and my team know how to use Xvantage, I now have, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that easier and faster and with less friction. I think that's just one of the most, besides the complexity, friction just slows deals down for Ingram, for the vendor, for the partner, and eliminating as much as possible. I commend him, because it makes us faster. It makes us more profitable. It makes the customer needs more accurately delivered, and we get to be that much more accountable. It just works.
Well, I've always believed self-praise is no recommendation. How does it feel to hear this from a partner?
It feels great. Nothing is more gratifying than helping and your partner and listen from their partners. Mark has been the journey from day one. I remember when it was just a picture and a slide, we had the vision. It's just 2 years ago. 2 years ago, we were just starting this Xvantage journey.
And we were all young.
We are all young, younger. I'm just kidding, we're just starting the journey, and we showed that. Remember, in I think early 2022, we had that discussion, the vision, and with Mark's and others' feedback, we have been able to iterate fast and get the feedback and work on that. And nothing is more gratifying because ultimately our business relies on the success of our partners, right? We are there to help them. Even the insights and now the reviews that you get in the platform is to help you look at a holistic view of our business. The idea is the example that I gave, the complex codes, right? If we can do this faster, it means partners like Mark can go and grab more business, go faster to the market and saves time. So it is not really just time saving, it's opportunity more for the partners. And the more opportunity the partners get, the more we can actually be successful. So it just feels great.
That's fantastic. And Mark, there is a feedback mechanism within the platform, which I think is great because constantly we can, and I know we do that. What is the process? First, let me ask Sanjib about the process. Then I want to go to you. What's the process when that happens?
The process is that if there is a customer issue, I don't want my team to go to bed without fixing that. We want to be agile, fast, unless it takes more time. And like a technology company, we keep build things fast. And if any feedback comes, we fix things fast. And one thing we want to do is that because we are building it as a platform, it's kind of a homogeneous kind of issues. When issues come, the team talks to customers and fixes it. We also have feedback mechanisms. We read every single feedback. The feedback comes even to my level. We review it and understand what are the big things that we need to fix or improve. And we take it into a product roadmap, and then build the product incrementally to solve that. That's kind of the process. And I would like to hear from Mark because I'm trying to focus my team on agility and being faster on feedback and move fast. Like, for example, the feedback we got from having a mobile app. In a few months, we build a mobile app. And that's the speed at which we want to move.
That's incredible. Mark, what do you think about that?
It's dangerous to say that you've got a concern about his project because he's got smart people working for him. And they're going to reach out to you and they're going to find out what's wrong. Do you even know what's wrong? They may have found, you raised a comment and we need to do this, we need to do this, we need to do this. It's laser-like focus on improving not just your experience and fixing the immediate need, but is there something deeper? Is there something more that we need to do? So I jokingly say, we're cautious in how we report to his team because they're on it.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned a little bit about competition. Well, how often are you able to actually affect change if you see something that isn't working quite right for you?
Right.
And there's good feedback. Well, okay, if you need something specific, maybe it can happen. But if you have something general and you'd like to see something, all of a sudden it's like, hey, can you be on a call? Can you explain from the customer perspective?
Fast?
Yeah, and it's almost immediate.
Yeah.
Because I can tell he drives his people to get this done correctly to help us.
Yeah.
And if he's asking for help, if something isn't right, look out, voice your concern, and it'll get resolved.
And I'm sure that the team is so eager to be on top of these things, right? They're so passionate. I see all the photos on LinkedIn and Instagram of the team celebrating. I think you were out in India visiting, and just to see the joy on their faces. They're so passionate about what they do.
Yeah, and absolutely. I think to Mark's point, your point, what are they passionate about? Now, any technologies can write a line of code, write the new AI algorithm. In my books, it means nothing. What should we celebrate? We shouldn't celebrate the new technology delivered. We celebrate a customer success. We celebrate having a partner being more successful. We celebrate driving business for Ingram Micro. We celebrate a success story that a partner says, wow, you made my day by doing this. We once got a feedback that our complex coding process is so simple, even a 5-year-old can use. We celebrate that. because shiny technology is pointless without value. I mean, the team, they're a pretty good team. And I would say, I'm proud to have such a team. They can build technology, they can solve complex problems. What really gets them going, the culture is value-driven development. Make a partner successful, make an employee successful. Because ultimately, you don't deliver checklist, you deliver smiles. If we can deliver a single smile to a partner every day, that's worth much more than 20 hours of hard work that they do. That's what they look for, and that's what we look for.
That's great. That's what Mark looks for in his.
Even though he smiles very beautifully,
he likes to make his customer smile. So
I don't mean to interrupt you, Nina, but that could not be more importantly or more emphatically stated. He makes us shine. When we get to give information rapidly, when we get to be accurate, when we get to be held accountable, the customer now just expects that, which is awesome because my competition isn't doing that. So that's just one of the most powerful things we can bring to the table is accuracy and accountability. Customer wants to know when they want to know.
Yeah.
And I now have the ability to do that 24/7.
That's incredible. One of the other questions that I'm getting from partners is, hey, can you help us share some tips and tricks with Xvantage? I did want to point out that we have resources. And when you, up at the top on the dashboard, there's resources, right? And if you, as you come back in, you'll see how many new resources were added to your screen. Have you used the resource?
I have. I look at it daily, actually. I log in the morning, and one of the most powerful things is the content that Ingram creates. It's almost daily that new content has come out and is published and is sortable. So if you have a client that calls you about, hey, do you know anything about technology ABC?
Yeah.
Before you call them back, I will log in and I will find 30 articles, I'm sure, 3 of which are within the last 72 hours, more than likely. Read them and be upfront with the client, of course, and share that information. So now you look like the expert, like you've curated all of this critical information to the client and you send it out. It doesn't matter what they ask. You can go in there and you can sort and search and say, I'm looking for this.
Yeah. I like that you helped me answer that question. Thank you.
Like Mark's point, here is what I'll say, Nina, is that we are building a product, right, which is Xvantage and the product. When you buy a new iPhone or you buy a new phone, do you go through a training manual? Somebody teaches you how to use your phone? Few years ago, somebody will wave and say after a drink, hey, stop a taxi, and then actually they will go home. Today, would you actually wave at a stranger to go home? Even anybody's using an app, booking Uber and doing that. So I feel that if you're curious, and if you use the platform enough, and you're interested, you will figure out a way how the platform serves. If it is not intuitive enough, we have failed. And that is my point. We can do enough trainings, enough webinars. Ultimately, human brain minds when they find things useful and they are curious. There's no substitute to that. When somebody tells me we need a training for this, I feel that you should be self-trained. You should be looking at yourself, curious, play with it. Like Mark said, whenever I do the platform, I look at the platform almost daily looking at demos, You don't want to do that. So a partner, anybody, how do you useful? You go and use the platform.
Sure.
Don't have your procurement team only do the platform. There are insights, there's content, there's knowledge, there's everything for everyone. Xvantage is not just a catalog management or procurement platform. It is arguably, not with respect to competition, a platform, same question, that caters to every single person of a partner. You are the owner of a business, you can look at content, insights, how the business is doing. You are finance, you look at invoices. You're managing cloud, you can look at subscriptions cloud. You're managing hardware. Everybody has a view to the platform. It caters to everybody. That's what I would advise.
I like that you talked about Xvantage being intuitive, but when you go in and you play with someone, just like with anything, you're invested in it. When you're just looking at a video and you're watching it and then going in there, you're not as invested in it. Playing around, thinking you might break it, that's when you really learn, right? Because you're invested.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that you said that, because it's important that people begin to go in there, and of all levels, chief executives, procurement, finance people. And you talked about that earlier when you and I chatted, that you've got people throughout your organization now that are using Xvantage in different ways. So it's not just for one person at a company, it's for everybody.
Yeah, that's why it is.
And this isn't a commercial for Xvantage.
Yeah.
We're just stating the truth.
I think the idea is that is why it's a platform, not a website.
Yeah. Yeah.
It takes a friction out. There's a lot of complex architecture in the back end to actually support this. Their engine, it's like a car, and you have a fancy front end that you love driving, but it's not as simple in the back end. There's a lot of plumbing and work that we have to do it to replicate data, harmonize data, aggregate this, to take the friction out and make it as easy for our partners to see a single pane of glass. So use it, customize it, and if you need help, we are there. We'll answer questions.
Speaking of which, what about APIs? Because that's something that maybe not everybody knows about. And the process, I believe you have to apply for APIs, but it's free, where you can access our APIs for free. Is that not true?
Absolutely. It's an important thing that today only we just even launched, we are trying it out in US and in other countries, is SDK. We have a development toolkit for our, Xvantage, where you can actually use the toolkit to integrate with Xvantage, with APIs and your data. We also have working on agnostic frameworks that can transform your formats to our format. There are multiple ways to integrate with Xvantage. The idea is you need to have the intent and the will, and we'll figure it out, how to do it. It's not like one way. We will help to commit your way. So Xvantage is a very open access platform. You can actually access it in multiple ways in a very reliable, secured manner. It can be API, it can be data transformation, it can be your US platform, doesn't matter.
That's amazing. Well, thank you both for joining us today. This has been so informative and delightful to have you as our guest on the show today. Sanjib, where are you off to next?
I'm always emotionally with Xvantage 24/7. We are on the Xvantage cloud. Anytime you need to reach me, just message me.
So we can click a button. We can say, "Where's Sanjib?" and it'll bring up a map.
Yeah, we'll bring a digital twin of me.
I love it. Thanks so much for joining.
Thank you so much, Nina. Appreciate it.
Impactful global engagements, iconic entertainment experiences, and memorable networking opportunities. Be part of it all at Ingram Micro 1 2024.